Gun violence epidemic continues to be at the center of many community conversations, and many are wondering, why can't we find solutions to address the record number of shootings?
Fox 12's Sarah HURWITZ has been following this issue extensively and spoke today with a number of black leaders. She joins us now live with what they're asking of the city, and she has new data on gun violence. Sarah.
Oh yeah, in that new data that we obtained, it shows that a disproportionate number of black and brown people were the victims of gun violence in 2020. And the conversation I had today with that group, they feel that more resources and funding need to go to the communities most impacted by this. It's been months since those intense discussions started.
Portland's crisis is our responsibility to solve.
It's definitely something that we're concerned about.
On how to address the alarming and dramatic increase in gun violence in Portland. Fast forward several months, the violence hasn't stopped, even after city and county leaders have dedicated hundreds of thousands of dollars to outreach programs and formed teams to prevent and investigate these crimes. So what isn't working?
The biggest problem is that we're not all in unison. Right, so with whatever the city's doing, or whatever city community-based organizations is doing, we got to all be on one accord.
LIONEL IRVING, the founder of Love is Stronger, works in outreach and wants everyone to work together, not separately. He says he's excited about how city funding could potentially help organizations like his in doing more important work on the streets with youth and families. But this group believes more funding is needed.
There's no investment in the community, specifically the black and brown community, that is so overwhelmingly impacted by the gun violence.
Take a look at this. According to new data that Fox 12 obtained, black people made up nearly 52% of those killed in shootings in 2020. 31% of those victims were white, and more than 13% were Hispanic. Meanwhile, white people made up nearly 48% of the suspects in deadly shootings. Nearly 40% were black suspects and 8% Hispanic.
So it's not that the money isn't there. It's that we're not effectively allocating resources, we're not measuring success the proper ways, and we're not funding for long term.
We've seen what happened with everyone else, and they have an old saying that if you continue to do what you've always done, you're going to always get the same result. And to expect anything else is insanity.
What does that stand for?
The group talked about the crucial piece in stopping violence before it starts, mentoring and guidance, like through the program Black Men in Training.
And we're teaching them self-love and brotherhood. And that's what we're about. That's why we named it Black Men in Training. We're training these young black men up to be men, because most of them don't have men around them. And that group you just heard from there, as well as several other black leaders in the community, are working to set up a meeting sometime soon with the mayor to keep this conversation going. Reporting live tonight in downtown Portland, Sarah HURWITZ, Fox 12 Oregon.